speaker. In this debate, actually, the thing that we have to focus on is the situation that have been in our country for the last few years. It is very important if, in order to make equality in all aspects of life, especially for the poor. But we want to expand our argument here. We want to tell you the impact of giving scholarship for the poor. Not only the short term, but it is for long term. Not only for the individual themselves, but also for the prosperity of this nation. And we will give our argument later after this rebuttal. Okay, in this rebuttal section, I would like first directly rebut the argument from the opening government. The first speaker of the opening government, they said that everyone has the same chance, no matter rich or poor. But the problem is, in the system of scholarship in our nation, if they are not good enough academically, they will not be given that scholarship. It is called discrimination. It is very dangerous because it can influence the self-esteem of the students whose economic are weak. And the second, they also said, scholarship is for everyone who has capability. If they said that scholarship is only for the students who have capability, it means that they have good achievement at school. We don't agree with that. We want to change this mindset. Everybody, especially for those students who are poor, their parents are poor, they should be given also scholarships. So why this motion tell us that all of the scholarships that are not focusing on the underprivileged weak group economically, it should be prohibited. And in the last minutes of their speech, from the first speaker, they say, if the economically weak students are given scholarship, they won't survive. It is useless. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen, because the academic achievement at school is very important, but also the motivation that can come from those scholarships will influence the students, even though they are not the top group in their school. Even though those students are the most smartest students at their school, because it can improve their motivation. Okay, so we don't agree with that. And from the second speaker, they said that it is good to get the scholarship to all of the students, regardless of the level of their economy. It will make them fulfill the requirements. They will work very hard in order to meet the requirements that are attached in that scholarship. So this is called discrimination, because automatically the students who are weak economically and also have no achievement at school, they will not pass these kind of requirements. And they also said that it becomes less competitive. If they don't agree with this motion, because they believe that it can be less competitive, because all of the students, especially for the poor students, they will be given more opportunity if this motion stands. So it is called, again, discrimination. So we don't agree with that. So the first side of the government side is talking about the, is talking about the equality and such a thing like that. But here we want to talk about the impacts, the individual impacts and the national impact. Let's first talk about the national impacts. The scholarships given to the students who are poor, it can improve their study, it can improve their achievement. When their achievement improve for the nation, all young people will be well educated. It is great for the development of our nation. So, if you want to compete with other nations, especially in in our continent, in the Southeast region, we have to give the chance to all of the students, especially the poor. So, when they are given the scholarship, they will study hard, they will get a better job, and they will improve the rate of they will reduce the number of poverty in our nation. So this is very good for our nation. And secondly, for the individual themselves, it is not only for the equality, but it is about cutting the chain of poverty among the economically weak students. Alright, no thank you. When the poor students are given opportunity to get scholarships, even though they don't have high achievement, they can do well at school. And when they grow up, when they become adults, they can compete with those who are rich, who have gone to the private study, something like that. So that's very important for our nation and also for the individuals themselves. When they can do this successfully, when they have children, they already know how to take care well of their children's education. So their next generation, when their parents are poor, their children can avoid that chain of poverty because they have been given opportunity to do better at school. And the last one, why it is dangerous to give scholarship only for the students who, students without focusing on the poor students. Because from the psychological perspective, if the students are poor, they are shy to continue at school. And finally, they will drop out, and that's very dangerous because in many cases there are many underage marriage. Underage marriage, it can have the problem for the government. So to avoid it, so the government have to make a good policy. So this motion should stand. Thank you very much.